Alrighty, we're rolling. How does my hair look? Good, thank you. It's kind of you to say. Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. As you've probably figured out from the title of this video already, it is going to be a Q&A. So a couple of weeks ago, I asked people to send in some questions because I was planning on doing another Q&A video to commemorate 1 year on YouTube. So if you were one of those people who sent in a question, thank you very much, and stay tuned because I might just be about to answer it. If you didn't send in a question, don't worry, I'm going to do more of these in the future, so feel free to pop stuff in the comments or just stick around to hear some answers to questions. That's what a Q&A is. Oh god, look at them bags. There's no amount of editing that's going to get rid of those, but I've been busy and staring at a screen a lot lately and not sleeping well, so yeah, I look like shit, get over it. So first up, I have a question from Kamil, and he asks, why did you start YouTube? Why not a blog or other form of spreading stuff online? Now I think that's a good question to kick off with, considering it's my first year of doing YouTube and starting to upload regularly, kind of. It's an interesting question because I did toy around with the idea of starting a haemophilia related blog or just sticking solely on Facebook or Twitter, and I thought back and I'd always wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I never really knew what I would start one about. And then I realised I was doing quite a lot in the haemophilia community, and I felt that there was a gap there that I could move into to provide some sort of educational, if not that, mildly entertaining video content for people in the bleeding disorder community. So I started making videos, people started responding to them quite well, and I kept making more videos. I wanted to get better at video editing and video creation personally, and it just seemed like a nice idea to use the haemophilia niche and my desire to make videos and mesh them together. So I do have plans to broaden things out in the future on this channel, but for now, creating content about what I get up to in the haemophilia community or sharing my experiences and stories is something that I'm enjoying and I think people find some value in. And obviously I would throw the same question back to you. So for those of you who want to go check out Kamil's channel and his Instagram, I'll pop his links below. He does a lot of amazing videos and reviews into diabetes technology, and half of it's over my head, but I still find it really interesting and entertaining. So if you're interested, you can go check out his stuff. I'll pop it all in the description. Next question. So the next question is from Gabriella, and she is a mum of a boy with haemophilia who's quite young, and she told me a bit about their story and experiences so far. But her question was, how would you describe or explain your relationship with needles throughout your life? So having haemophilia and having to take the treatment does require intravenous injections, and it's part and parcel of living with haemophilia. Unfortunately, it's not the most ideal way to receive treatment, and it's completely understandable that new parents hate seeing their kids go through quite a traumatic experience when it comes to intravenous injections. Needles suck. I don't think anyone out there in the community enjoys doing their needles. I feel very fortunate that I get to do them because it means I have access to the medication, but there is no escaping the fact that stabbing yourself in the veins with a needle is a pretty shitty experience. So I get that for younger kids it is a very traumatic time, and it's probably more traumatic for the parents. Now the one thing I will say is some people might be surprised that I was absolutely terrible with the whole needle experience when I was younger. I absolutely hated them. People used to have to pin me down. I screamed the clinic down. I screamed the house down. People had to, you know, pin my arm down and try and get the vein, and my veins weren't very good. My mum had needle phobia. It was a crappy time for us. But the thing is, we got through it. And thousands have done it before you, and thousands will do it after you. Unfortunately, in the moment, it's so easy to get bogged down by it and worry about what effect it's having on your kid. But when they're going through this traumatic experience when they're really little, the one thing I will say is they won't remember it. As you get older, it will get easier. I promise you, it does get easier with time. You will have your ups and downs. That's part of it. It's the roller coaster ride that is haemophilia. There are so many things to learn, but you will be able to do it. It's nothing you can't handle. You're already doing an amazing job. People don't give themselves enough credit. They always feel like they're struggling more than they actually are. But just use the support network you have. Don't get too bogged down. At the end of the day, don't let something as stupid and minuscule as a piece of metal and plastic ruin your day. It's going to be tough at times, but you can get through it, and I promise you it gets easier. My relationship with needles now is to the point where it's just part of my routine. I try not to think about it too much. If it gets too much in my head, I start to feel a bit funny about it, but it has just become part of my routine, and I actually have got to the point where I'm comfortable enough letting people practice doing injections on me. So I have made peace with it, and that just comes with experience. That's ultimately all I can say about that. Give yourself time, give yourself more credit, and ask for the help when you need it. Next question is from Julie, and she asks, what's the greatest impact advocacy has made on you? What's been the best part of it all? I would say the greatest impact advocacy has had on me is the complete removal of any feeling of isolation. Living with a rare disease such as haemophilia or another chronic illness, it's very easy to start feeling isolated, to start feeling like you're in it alone, that no one else gets it. When I was a teenager, I got to the point where I started to notice I was different. There were things I couldn't do that my friends could do, and there were things that my friends didn't have to do that I had to do. And I started to feel a bit different. I started to notice these things more and more, and I started to feel isolated, and that's never a good thing. However, I was lucky enough to get involved with my organisation, and from experiencing the advocacy work of others and getting involved in it myself, it completely removed any of those feelings. To answer the second part, what's been the best part of it all, I would have to say, whilst there have been amazing things I've been able to do and I've been able to go all over the place, it has to be ultimately the people that I've met. You really do meet such a variety of people when you get involved in patient advocacy. Some of the people I've met across the world have amazing stories. They offer me a new perspective. They really do, humble me and educate me, and I can't express how grateful I am to have experienced some of these stories and learnt from so many people out there in the community. It's just advocacy and the people you meet has probably been the best part of it for me personally. So if you're involved in patient advocacy, then let me know what the best part of it has been for you. But for me, it's the people, and I think that's ultimately what advocacy is all about. So great question. Thank you for that one, Julie. Moving on. So Pamela asks, did you have any hesitancy about becoming an advocate? If so, why? Now, I didn't really know I was becoming an advocate. I sort of just drifted into it. My involvement and relationship with the community as I got older strengthened, and before I knew it, I was a youth ambassador for the Haemophilia Society. I was going on trips to the World Federation of Haemophilia Congress, the European Haemophilia Consortium, workshops, seminars, more congresses, and it just sort of grew and grew until I found myself being this voice in the community and realising that advocacy had become a huge part of my life. So I don't think I ever really felt hesitant about it. It's something I just sort of drifted into and then realised, actually, I love doing this. The one thing I will say is my decision to start a YouTube channel around my experiences with haemophilia and what I get up to in the world of advocacy is something I did have some hesitancy around. And it was mainly because I'd be putting myself so out there, and when things are out on the internet, they're out there, you can't get them back, you've said what you've said. But I'm always pretty confident and transparent about my experiences and willing to share. My main issue was, well, people are going to judge me for getting on camera and talking to myself and being a bit of an idiot. And then I realised, actually, if I can just help one person with the videos I put out, then that's enough for me. That means I've made some sort of impact, and the positives outweighed any sort of risk of judgment that I was maybe having some hesitation around. So I'm glad I've just jumped into it, and already the response I've had from the people who watch my videos and follow me on social media has made it all worthwhile. So yeah, good question. I think advocacy is something you can dedicate a large portion of your life to, and you need to make sure you look after yourself as well as trying to look after others in what you're doing. I think I'll wrap it up there, guys. I've rattled off through quite a few of the questions. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. It lets me know you enjoyed it, and I should keep doing these. If you didn't like the video, leave a thumbs down or an angry react, whatever you want to do. It's the internet and I won't get upset, I promise. If you aren't sick of my face and voice at this point, you can maybe check out the rest of the channel, see all the other videos I put out over the past year. If you're into it and you're interested and you want to follow along with what I'm doing, you can hit subscribe and then hit the little bell and it will let you know when I upload a video. I think I'll leave it at that for today. I've got some work to finish up on. I'm going off to Center Parcs for a newly diagnosed family weekend with the Haemophilia Society, so I'll maybe do a bit of vlogging whilst I'm there, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Adios. What's that? What am I doing there? I don't know. Why did I say adios? Oh, God's sake.